everyone, I'm Anne Riddell, and welcome to Arts in the City. We are coming to you today from one of New York's newest and most unique parks, Manhattan's Little Island. We'll show you around a bit later in the show, but first we head to the Gilder Center at the American Museum of Natural History. It is an entirely new building, and the architecture is as mesmerizing as the exhibits are. Andrew Falzone got a first look.
Rising from the ground on Columbus Avenue, the Richard Gilder Center for Science, Education, and Innovation occupies a massive 230,000 square feet of the museum's property. The Griffin Exploration Atrium serves as the main entrance and immerses visitors in the building's sheer size as the eye is drawn upward by the cavernous ceiling and its multiple skylights. Carve-outs like caves on a canyon wall offer a glimpse into the 5 stories of exhibits that fill the space. Internationally known architect Jeannie Gang led the design and let us in on the secret as to how she made inside feel like out.
We don't use curves as much in architecture as we could, and we were able to do that here. But what that does, it's like the way that it modulates the light, the way that these bridges, connect different spaces. Those are kind of things you do see in natural landscapes, and they're very exciting. You want to go explore them. And so I think those are things that add up to making it feel more organic, than a typical building.
Unlike the museum's Grand Central Park West entrance, the Theodore Roosevelt Rotunda, which opened in 1935 and is designed in the Grand Roman style, for the Gilder Center, Studio Gang drew inspiration from Mother Nature.
This is a landmark museum, and we're very careful about connecting to the existing on the outside. But on the inside, you're right, it brings in natural light and connects you to views of the outside, something that isn't very prevalent in the current museum.
On the uppermost floor is a research library that will also host exhibits and public programming. The Gilder Center's exhibits focus on being immersive or hands-on. The collection's core and galleries offers visitors a look at research in progress and serves as a living metaphor for transparency in science.
The inspiration was to create a space, given the fact that, a lot of people have been doubting science, like climate change and even vaccines and things like that. It's more important than ever to connect people to science and the facts that we know about nature.
The ground-level insectarium features large-scale models and live insects. Lori Halderman is VP of Exhibition.
Insects are beautiful and bizarre, and we've given you lots of ways to see them live and digital, to really look at them.
When it comes to immersive, the Invisible Worlds exhibit wraps its audience into a 360-degree experience presented in an oval room with walls 23 feet high and a mirrored ceiling that surrounds visitors with projections of phenomena from the natural world at all scales. One new element of the Gilder Center that's sure to be a family favorite is the butterfly vivarium. It used to be downstairs on the lower level, and it was a seasonal attraction, but this vivarium will be open year-round.
We're thrilled to have this new permanent space. It's twice as big as our own space. The animal might actually land on you if you're lucky. And if it doesn't, there's lots of ways to see them up close. There's feeding stations with magnifiers.
With the original vision for the Gilder Center planted in 2014, it's taken almost a decade to make the vision a reality, and the natural history staff can't wait for you to see it.
When the public comes, what do you want them to take away from the experience?
I want them to just have their eyes wide open and think, wow, the natural world is amazing. And it's not just amazing in the museum, it's amazing when you walk out the door, when you start going back home. When you see something here that makes you see differently in the world that you walk through every day, I think that's what museums can really do. Is we're not the place where the visit ends, we're the place where your exploration should begin.
I'm Andrew Falzone for Arts in the City.
Neil Rosen is back with another celebrity interview. He spoke with comedian Sebastian Maniscalco about his new movie called About My Father and what it was like having Robert De Niro play his dad.
You know, her family invited me to their summer house.
Oh, their summer home? Oh, most people got one home, but they got them for different seasons. Oh, that's nice.
Come on, Dad. So they got more money than us. Who doesn't?
Sebastian Maniscalco is one of the hottest comedians working today, with sold-out shows in big venues around the country, as well as 6 highly successful TV specials.
When I graduated college, I couldn't tell my father, Dad, I'm gonna go to Europe to go find myself. What do you mean, go find yourself? I found you. You're right here in my house.
His latest project is a movie, which he co-wrote and stars in, called About My Father, a comedy loosely based on his life. More specifically, about his relationship with his dad, an Italian immigrant hairdresser, played by Robert De Niro, who has to meet Maniscalco's fiance's wealthy family for the first time.
I was nervous to bring you here, but I didn't know you were going to spend the whole time embarrassing me.
How much of this is autobiographical?
Well, the relationship part with my father is kind of true to heart. He's a hairdresser. He's, you know, stubborn, hard-headed. My wife's family, they are wealthy. We do go up every summer and spend the 4th of July with them at their, you know, country club.
You know, looking back at this, my dad had to be overwhelmed.
And was it intimidating for Maniscalco to work with Robert De Niro?
Very intimidating in the beginning, and, you know, it takes a few days to kind of get over that intimidation. And, you know, you peel back the layers of the onion, and underneath he's a sweet, nice man. I think it's a buildup we have about this guy because he's played such intimidating characters in movies. You almost go in with that mentality that you're dealing with Ace Rothstein.
You're such a successful stand-up comic. Why did you want to do a movie?
For me, you know, I've always wanted to get into some type of acting my entire career. So it's something that's always been in the back of my mind to do. Listen, stand-up, you can't beat it. I mean, you go out, hour and a half, you make people laugh, it's immediate, it's exciting. I'm the writer, I'm the producer, I'm the director, I'm the performer. It's all in my hands.
The first stand-up bit I ever saw of yours was about you attending your girlfriend's family's Passover Seder. Did that girl wind up being your wife?
It's funny, my wife is Jewish, and she introduced me to, you know, Passover, which I've never been to a Passover meal.
And I went to my first Passover dinner. That's what she said, my mother's gonna have Passover. Okay, we'll go to the dinner. 7:30, we sit down at her mother's house. I'm starving, right? Starving. They start passing out pamphlets, like reading material. I'm like, what's going on? What are we doing here? What's with the... She's like, no, we read for 2 hours. 2 hours? I said, listen, I'm Italian. As soon as I sit at a table, I gotta have bread within 15 seconds of sitting down, all right?
And with a film, totally different muscle. You're not getting any response. You're doing it 10 times.
And the crew can't laugh.
The crew can't laugh, you know? I'm looking for anything, a signal on set that maybe somebody's holding it in, you know? But yeah, it's a totally different muscle, and like I said, I will never stop doing stand-up. I just do projects that I'm really passionate in. And this one I co-wrote, and it's loosely based on my life, and I just wanted to exploit the relationship I had with my father in a film.
My father has an old Italian saying, family isn't one important thing,
It's everything.
With Sebastian Maniscalco currently starring in the film About My Father, I'm Neil Rosen for Arts in the City.
Little Island is an oasis off the west side of Manhattan. It's a 2.4 acres, a floating pier. You can only access it by 2 bridges. We have a south bridge and a north bridge. Those bridges rise very slowly, about 15 feet off the shoreline. So we're ready for climate change, but they also help you leave the city behind. So, as I said, it's a place for respite, relaxation. The words we use are whimsy and delight. We want to make sure that people feel that when they're here, they have a choice about how they want to use the park. It's a public space, and every individual is different. So we create a space that is both gorgeous, that helps you touch art and nature, and if you want to, you can interact with other people. But if you don't, if you just want to sit under a tree and read a book, you can do that too. We've been open about 2 years. We opened just as the city opened after the pandemic. It was quite beautiful. And what you saw here 2 years ago when the city reopened was people who hadn't been out of their houses in about 2 years, hugging each other and some people crying. It was a really emotional and beautiful backdrop, I think, for the opening of the park. And the mission of the park is to be a space for everyone, for all. All New Yorkers are invited. All people are invited to come here. And we create programming that lets people be themselves. We have 2 beautiful spaces for performances. This year, our amphitheater, which faces the water, is just for public viewing. It's a place that you can come and grab a lemonade from our F&B, grab a rosé if you like, sit and watch the sunset. New Jersey never looked better. We have the playground right here, which is a place for creative breaks. So the promise to the local community is that there's something that will help you access art and be your better self on the regular. So alternating dates from Wednesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., we have little light touch workshops in visual art, dance, music. Come make a watercolor. Come learn how to do a Latin dance. Come sing along with Greenwich House or make a puppet with the New Victory Theater, something beautiful like that. You can do that with your family. You can do that even if you're an adult. Formal performances this year will take place in the Glade. It's a tiny little space. It's behind us. It's a rolling hill. The grass is very soft. It leads to a little kind of a cul-de-sac of 2 benches. And those benches face a tiny little stage in which you can do maybe a pas de deux or put a jazz trio on that stage. This year we have Broadway stars, really up-and-coming artists. Go to our website if you want the specific information. I'm going to make sure that people understand our website is always up to date, and the best place to find information about how to access Little Island is at littleisland.org.
From Little Island to the Little Met. Queens College is home to the Godwin-Ternbach Museum. Its world-class art collection has earned it the nickname the Little Met. Elena Romero takes a tour.
The story of the Godwin-Ternbach Museum is tied to the history of New York City's art world.
The foundation of the museum, it's actually a man and a woman. It's Frances Godwin, who was a beloved art historian. She was a medievalist. That was her field. She worked here for 25 years at Queens College. She was introduced to Joseph Turnbuck, who was a world-renowned conservator. In 1957, they were introduced by Turnbuck's daughter, who was studying with Frances Godwin. And in 57, they collaborated on this idea of creating a world-class art collection that would be a teaching museum.
Frances Godwin and Joseph Turnbuck joined forces, and they were able to attract donors who had donated to the Metropolitan Museum of Art of New York City.
So the Linsky Gallery, or the wing at the Met, that was endowed by the Linsky family, we have about 12 marvelous pieces from the Linskys in our collection. That collection grew from 1957, and in 1981, the museum was chartered and became an institution within the college, a legitimate institution.
The collection is open to students, faculty, and staff to do research, and in many cases, to handle art objects.
When I bring my students here to the museum, I bring it as a capstone moment. So it's at the end of the semester that we arrive, and curators set up tables with artifacts related to the course. So they are encouraged, actually, they've been encouraged to touch and handle the materials because it's a teaching collection. And I think, as ordinary as that sounds, right, it sounds like a very mundane thing, but it's a very extraordinary engagement with artifacts that are often 1,000 years old or more. For me, it's enchanting to see just how disarmed they are by proximity to the past.
The museum offers all types of educational programming, including artist talks, curator talks, gallery conversations, family workshops, and kindergarten through 12th grade school visits.
As a museum education intern at the Godwin-Ternbach Museum, I was in charge of developing an education guide for K-12 students, educators, and caregivers. And so a primary goal of the guide was really to teach students or create a tool for educators and caregivers to be able to go over certain topics within art, within the classroom, maybe even at home, right? And this guide was meant to be a public-facing online guide.
I admit that I find this space very inspiring, actually, and very relaxing at the same time. So it does have a bit of a cathedral quality for me. And I think in such a busy city and with such a harried schedule, it is certainly a blessing to have a space like this.
Not many people know that we exist, and I think, creating awareness that we are here, we're open to students, faculty, staff, but also the public to come and visit, to view our exhibitions, to attend our programs. Most of our exhibitions, if not all, and programs are free of charge. So it's really a great opportunity for anyone that's in the area, or if you want to take a bus ride, a train ride, come and visit us. Once you get here, your visit is free.
So don't forget, CUNY invites all comers to visit the Godwin-Ternbach Museum at Queens College, known proudly as the Little Met. I'm Elena Romero for Arts in the City.
It's often said the eyes are windows to the soul, and if that makes you want to take a closer look, you might want to check out Eye Origin, a gallery where eyes become art. Beauty may be in the eye of the beholder, but it is also in the eye itself. Step inside Eye Origin Gallery in the Flatiron District and you'll find evidence of exactly that. Incredibly detailed photographs that reveal stunning intricacies in the human eye. Owner Stefan Enno describes the gallery as interactive, a place where your eyes become their own masterpieces.
So it's something very different because you discover your eye like you've never seen it before. You see all the colors, all the structure, everything that's in your eye.
Stefan explains the idea behind this began in Europe, a combination of science and art. Iris recognition is a familiar concept as a means of identification, a way to confirm a person's identity. In this case, that individuality is also what makes each piece of photographic art unlike another.
Every iris is totally unique, even both iris has difference.
So even in twins, for example, would the irises be unique?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen twins. We've taken pictures of more than 30,000 people, so we've seen all kinds of eyes.
Stefan demonstrated the process for us, which begins with macro photography and a specialized camera that captures an image of the iris up close. What's most striking here? The patterns and range of color that suddenly become visible, revealing even small specks of pigment. Take a look at the photograph we took compared to this one. These eyes are much more than brown.
Wow, I can count 4 colors. I see the yellow, I see the blue, the green, the brown.
The final circular images can be bought in various sizes and frames, but you don't need to pay anything to see this for yourself. There are 2 Eye Origin galleries in Manhattan open to the public, a memorable glimpse into what our eyes really say.
Okay, take a few more.
New York City has always been a capital of the art world, a magnet for the imaginative. Lisa Beth Kovitz sat down with 2 artists, an author and a jewelry designer, whose serendipitous meeting here in our hometown sparked new creativity for both of them.
If you see something that inspires you or catches your eye, like a piece of jewelry or a painting or a book, there is a chance, and a very good chance, that you could track down the person who created that piece of art. And if you're lucky and they're super cool, they might meet with you and talk to you about the piece they created or how they work. And it's just something that in New York is likely, and in other places it seems much more of a long shot.
In the quiet that followed completion of her 6th novel, Brenner stumbled upon Lulu Frost's Plaza collection.
I became obsessed with the idea of turning hardware into jewelry. I loved the idea that it was something atypical, but very beautiful. I wanted to pay homage to the construction of the past. And while hunting, I came across buckets of room numbers that were being thrown away from the Plaza Hotel when they renovated in 2005. And it was like a lightning strike kind of moment. And I realized that these would make beautiful, individual, unique necklaces, bracelets, and that people could really relate to numbers and letters universally. So literally the DNA of my brand is in the streets and buildings and bones of New York City.
Working in two very different art forms, both artists were seeking to say something about the things that are valuable to us as people.
When I was growing up, jewelry was basically defined by the standard bearers like Elizabeth Taylor and all the Hollywood people, and with these giant gemstones, and if you're getting married, it better be a huge rock, or else, you know, what are you doing? And Lulu Frost jewelry was the complete antithesis of that.
Not all that is glittery and glitzy has intrinsic value or a sentimental value. And for me, often, the more patina a piece is, the more magical it becomes. I love the magic that time gives to old things. It's sort of an ineffable touch that really can speak to someone personally.
And because it's New York City, it was easy for these two artists with overlapping points of view to meet and share ideas.
It's funny because sometimes, you know, it's always, you gotta be careful what you wish for in terms of meeting people whose work you admire. But in this case, my expectations were exceeded.
I remember Jamie the moment she walked in, just great personal style and a point of view. So I thought, oh, this is somebody that will understand what I'm doing and find the value in perhaps something that's not on a carat scale, for example, but has a history.
Aside from the amazing thing to see the creator and have her talk about the pieces in front of us, was hearing her own story.
And then inspiration struck.
The book is called Guilt, and it is about a woman who is the heir to a traditional jewelry fortune like Tiffany & Co., but she wants to make her own mark and be an artist, and she, like Lulu Frost, takes found objects and turns them into something that have meaning. And sort of the tension between her philosophy about life, about love, about meaningful objects versus what's supposed to be good for us, right for us, valuable to us.
And now that Brenner's book is done, the writer is inspiring the jeweler to write.
I'm now being inspired to remember a part of myself that sort of paused in, 11th grade English. And I really love writing, and I do feel that it's a natural extension of the storytelling I've been learning so much about. It's scary to start a new career at 40, but I'm really looking forward to growing and co-creating with you even more. There's lots more to come.
For Arts in the City, this has been Lisa Beth Kovets.
If you're looking for family fun with some learning mixed in this summer, we've got an idea for you. Putting Green is a mini golf course in Brooklyn with a climate change theme. And our Barry Mitchell says the view from the Williamsburg waterfront is a hole-in-one.
What's a miniature golf course without a windmill? But this windmill has special significance. Welcome to Putting Green. Green as in green energy.
Putting Green is an 18-hole, community-driven mini golf course. Each hole addresses a different challenge or solution with climate change. Climate change is such a complicated issue, and we wanted to present it in a fun, approachable way. Mini golf is a great way to do that. It really allows people to have fun and learn something at the same time. Our globe at the front entrance is actually recycled material left over from the course. We have AstroTurf that was extra, and then we also collected a bunch of bottles and reused the bottle caps.
And who gets the 5-cent deposit on the bottles?
That's a great question.
The 18th hole here at Putting Green features a replica of the windmills that powered life for settlers of New Amsterdam.
Today, New York State is developing offshore wind farms that will power millions of homes.
Caddying for me today is my CUNY TV colleague, Vincent Verdi. Vinny, did you know that cows are among the worst offenders when it comes to global warming? The way they digest food, they belch out copious amounts of methane, a greenhouse gas far more potent than carbon dioxide. And it gets stuck up the atmosphere and it causes global warming. Belching cows, can you believe it?
Maybe they need some Pepto-Bismol.
You're fired. Putting Green is in Domino Park, the recently developed site of the former Domino Sugar Refinery, which operated here between 1882 and 2004. See these bricks? They were salvaged and repurposed from the old Domino Sugar Factory. These bricks are from the 1800s. This installation was put together by Brooklyn-based artist Kim Holloman.
Each of the 18 holes here at Putting Green were actually designed by a different community partner. We have high school students, artists, nonprofit organizations who all came together to create the course.
So, Michael, I see you've got your own oyster bar here.
That's right, Barry. This hole at Putting Green was designed by a great local nonprofit called the Billion Oyster Project. They're working to repopulate the New York harbor with billions of oysters. It's critical to creating a healthy waterway.
In fact, our reporter Donna Hanover did a story on them.
There were once 200,000 acres of oyster reefs in the waters of New York Harbor, and the Billion Oyster Project is trying to bring them back.
Putting Green is in a great location here on the Williamsburg waterfront, right adjacent to the East River. We have beautiful views of the Williamsburg Bridge and the Manhattan skyline.
Putting Green on the Williamsburg waterfront. Michael, open
now daily through the middle of October.
Mini golf picnic tables, ocean breeze. Why aren't you here? I'm Barry Mitchell for Arts in the City. Good job.
That is our show for today. Thanks so much for watching. A quick reminder to check us out on social media. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Anne Riddell. See you next time on Arts in the City.